September 5, 1972, a day that changed the Olympics forever. What should have been a global celebration of sport turned into a chilling reminder of the world's ugliest truths. The Munich Olympics became a bloodbath when 8 armed members of the Black September terrorist group stormed the quarters of the Israeli team. It wasn't just another headline. This was a carefully planned spectacle of terror. 11 athletes were held hostage, and the standoff ended in carnage. Let's expose everything on Politalysis.
The Munich Olympics took a tragic turn. Palestinian gunmen attacked the Israeli team.
In the early morning hours, 8 Palestinian terrorists, disguised in tracksuits, scale a chain-link fence and sneak into the Olympic Village.
11 people were killed after a botched rescue operation. The attack caused a deep rift between Germany and Israel.
Ali Hassan Salameh, the man the Mossad wanted most, was still at large.
The sheer audacity of the Black September group during the 1972 Munich Games was both shocking and horrifying, leaving the world in disbelief. These were not amateurs acting on a whim. They were highly trained and calculated in their approach. Disguised as athletes, they scaled the fences of the Olympic Village in the early hours of September 5th, carrying machine guns, grenades, and a terrifying sense of purpose. Their target? The Israeli athletes and coaches, unarmed and completely unprepared for the nightmare about to unfold. By dawn, the terrorists had stormed the Israeli quarters, murdering 2 athletes on the spot and taking 9 others hostage. The world was stunned as news of the attack spread, turning what should have been a celebration of international unity into a grim stage for political violence. Black September, a Palestinian militant group, demanded the release of over 200 prisoners held in Israeli jails and safe passage out of Germany. Their message was clear. They were willing to eliminate to achieve their goals. What followed was a tense and chaotic standoff that captivated global audiences. For hours, the German authorities scrambled to manage a situation they were woefully unprepared for. Negotiators tried desperately to stall for time, hoping to find a peaceful resolution. But the terrorists refused to budge. The tension was palpable, and the clock was ticking. When negotiations collapsed, the decision was made to attempt a rescue. The plan? To ambush the terrorists at Fürstenfeldbruck Air Base, where they had demanded a helicopter to take them out of the country. But the operation was a disaster from the start. German police forces, untrained for such high-stakes scenarios, made a series of fatal errors. They underestimated the number of terrorists, failed to properly coordinate their forces, and lacked the necessary firepower to execute a successful operation. The airbase turned into an eliminating ground. The terrorists, realizing the ambush, opened fire and detonated grenades inside one of the helicopters. By the end of the harrowing ordeal, all 11 Israeli hostages were dead, along with 5 of the 8 terrorists and 1 German police officer. The sight of the charred remains of the helicopters and the lifeless bodies of the hostages became etched in the memories of millions who followed the events on live television. For Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir, this massacre wasn't just an attack on athletes. It was a challenge to Israel's very survival. Meir knew she couldn't let it slide. What followed wasn't just a response. It was a reckoning. In the aftermath, Israel's message was clear. There would be no safe haven for the perpetrators of the Munich massacre. Golda Meir gave Mossad the green light to launch a covert operation that would hunt down every single person responsible for planning and executing the attack. The mission was named Operation Wrath of God, and it wasn't going to be subtle. Mossad assembled a team of elite operatives. Their orders? Simple. Identify, locate, and eliminate. This wasn't just a straightforward hit list. These agents had to work in hostile environments across Europe and the Middle East, blending in, gaining trust, and striking with surgical precision. Failure wasn't an option. The first name on the list was Vail Zwader, a key figure in Black September. He was gunned down in Rome with 11 bullets, 1 for each of the murdered Israeli athletes. Then came Mahmoud Hamshari, who helped coordinate the Munich attack. Mossad agents planted an explosive in his phone in Paris. When he picked up the receiver, the explosion was deafening. These weren't just assassinations, they were statements. One of the most high-profile targets was Ali Hassan Salama, also known as the Red Prince. Salama wasn't just any operative. He was the mastermind behind multiple attacks. Mossad tracked him for years, and in 1979, they got him in Beirut with a car bomb. It was a spectacular hit, but it came at a cost. Several civilians died in the blast, sparking controversy about the operation's methods. Let's be clear, Mossad wasn't playing by the rules. These agents operated deep in enemy territory, using fake identities and cutting-edge surveillance. They worked in the shadows, often on their own, relying on nothing but their training and instincts. The missions were high stakes, high risk, and sometimes morally gray. Agents had to make split-second decisions, knowing that failure could mean death or capture. Yet, despite the odds, they delivered results. Each target eliminated was a step closer to justice, and every operation was a testament to their dedication. Not every mission was flawless. The Lillehammer affair was a prime example of how things could go horribly wrong. Acting on faulty intelligence, Mossad agents eliminated an innocent waiter in Norway, mistaking him for a Black September operative. The fallout was severe. Several agents were arrested, and Israel faced international backlash. It was a black mark on an otherwise efficient campaign. Critics have often questioned the ethics of targeted assassinations. Was this justice or vengeance? Did Mossad's actions deter future attacks, or did they fuel a cycle of violence? These are tough questions, but for Israel, the answers were clear. When the world failed to act, Israel took matters into its own hands. Operation Wrath of God wasn't just about retaliation. It was about sending a message. Israel would not be a victim. It would fight back, no matter the cost, no matter the time it took. The operation became a blueprint for modern counterterrorism, influencing strategies worldwide. Mossad's covert operations have been extensively portrayed in literature and film, reflecting its reputation as a formidable and secretive intelligence agency. The 1979 television film The House on Garibaldi Street dramatizes the capture of Nazi war criminal Adolf Eichmann in Argentina, showcasing Mossad's global reach and meticulous planning. Steven Spielberg's 2005 film Munich delves into the aftermath of the 1972 Munich Olympics massacre, vividly depicting Mossad's mission to eliminate those responsible. The 2019 film The Red Sea Diving Resort brings to light Operation Brothers, where agents established a fake diving resort in Sudan to rescue Ethiopian Jews facing persecution. For more stories of daring missions and untold histories, don't forget to subscribe. Justice may operate in the shadows, but its impact is always felt.